Hi, I'm the Space Quest historian, and welcome back to The Silence of Space Quest 6, Roger Wilco in the Spinal Frontier. Last episode, we got the shuttle working, and thank you to everyone who commented on the last video to tell me what the solution for the intermix thing is. That's the periodic table of elements designation for lanthanum, sulfur, silver, and neon. Thank you. That actually makes a lot of sense, and it also explains why there was a periodic table of elements in the popular Genetronics manual that came with the game. Always wondered about that. But anyway, we don't need to mess around with it. Actually, it does make me wonder why you can, like, change between these different ones. But I guess, you know, current code lights up whenever you hit the right one. So, oh, fuck. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What we currently want to do is, having now fixed the shuttle with the fish and the jump cables and the whatever.
Your whimper is my command, sir.
Shut the fuck up. We can now get underway. Hopefully. Maybe. Ah, shit. I even went into the DOSBox settings and increased the cycles and did all sorts of gnarly shit. The videos still aren't playing in full screen. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. Who gives a shit? The FMVs are actually not that impressive. However, this flyby is... I thought was pretty impressive the first time I saw it. And I guess that is kind of funny the first time. I say the first time because you are going to see this animation every time you go to Delta Berxalon, of which location we are now in. So we are back now in the turbo lift, which is not a turbo lift, it is an ascendo pad.
The wall panels of the ascendo pad are formed from a core of fiber steel. This is...
Thank you, Mr. Owens. We've already heard that one. So let's, oh shit, where would they keep her? Maybe we can go into Sharpay's quarters and see if the, you know, if there's like a mangled mess of flesh and blood and dribbles all over the floor.
You're far too much of a wuss to pry open the portal doors.
Nope, still locked off. Can't go back into the quarters. Well, maybe we should check out the labs. I mean, it was a very interesting lab the first time we visited. Maybe that head cranial dude, Dr. Bellows, has something he would like to share with us. Perhaps an explanation of some kind.
Wow, a mad scientist working on a planet called Delta Berxalon. You wonder what he's doing here? Designing women, perhaps?
Ah!
Sorry?
Sorry. Well, Designing Women is a TV show, but I don't think that was actually out when this game was made. So, I guess that was just a little joke, perhaps? Anyway, let's have a look around his office before we start dicking around with things. Like this thing, this tiny little object here actually has a really funny message as far as I remember.
There's some sort of infrared motion detector unit at floor level.
That wasn't the one.
You hazily recall from a childhood experience that waving your hand in front of an electric eye is a good way to need the top half of your head surgically reattached.
Roger was not a smart kid, and the text message is even better.
You hazily recall from a childhood experience that licking an electric eye is a good way to need your torso surgically reattached.
Basically, Roger is just, you know, glued and stitched together from childhood. A bunch of other cool shit in his office, like this fucking thing. I've always wondered what the hell this is supposed to be.
This is the only piece of equipment in the lab that's totally unfamiliar to you.
I mean, it kind of looks like it has a little face.
It appears biomechanical in nature, with a metallic skin that seems to expand and contract slightly.
We didn't bother to animate it, though. Okay. If we meet something that's unfamiliar to us, the first thing we should do, of course, is to poke it and prod it.
You're not sure whether to turn it on, turn it off, open it, close it, disassemble it, pet it, wear it, whip up a batch of margaritas in it, launch it, or clean it. So in your decisive way, you do nothing with it.
Ah, gee whiz. As you can tell, this section of the game was written by Josh Mandel because you can even talk to it.
Do you understand me? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Parlez-vous français? Klatu barada nikto?
Apparently, it is either non-sentient or sentient, but a good enough judge of character not to want to encourage you.
So many good shit in this office. All the crates that are full of dangerous animals that you can't let out, sadly, so there's no death sequence to initiate there. The tanks, the fucking beakers, laboratory equipment, all this shit is nice. Don't think I didn't see the high-tech stuff thingamajig over here. Actually, what happens if I try and poke through this while he's still sitting there?
Mr. Wilco,
He gets
I would
mad.
advise you to stay out of my personal belongings. I do not want to have to get physical with you.
Jesus
Mind you,
Christ.
I will if I have to, and don't think I can't take you.
Steady on, sir. All right, maybe we should just have a quiet chat with him.
Hello, Doctor.
I just snuck up on you,
Janitor
kind of.
Wilco, what in blazes are you doing here?
Well, I'm going through your
Well,
shit,
Doc,
obviously.
I got a distress call.
So why are you here?
Because I know it originated here. In fact, it was from Stellar Santiago.
I have no memory of this woman because
You're
I've
out
never
of
met
your
her.
mind, Wilco. Now go away and leave me alone. I've got important work to do.
Well,
Goodbye.
technically, maybe Commander
I know
Kielbasa
something's up here, Doc. and I'm
phoned
gonna
him
get
up
to
and
the
said,
bottom of
by
it.
the way, crew
You'll
member
be sorry, pal.
dead, or at least let's pretend she's
Yes,
dead. Her
whatever
name is
you say,
Stellar.
Wilco. Just get out of my face.
All right, can I go through your shit now? Thank you for clearing out of here. And as he passes us, we get a point. Let's see if his giant cranium can fit in the turbo lift. Yes, it could. Now we can scour through his shice. Yum, 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 yum. Now, what have we got here?
It appears to be an old 1586 circuit board. Oh, that's right. You're not supposed to be a techie. We hope we didn't confuse you.
Gary Owens, sassy as always.
It's just an old beat-up chip.
Okay, what's this thing?
You've heard of black boxes, haven't you? Well, this one's red.
Cheerio, Miss Sophie.
It appears to be a Callahan Muddy. Seems you remember someone talking about these recently.
Callahan. Now, see here. Josh Mandel would eventually go on to leave Sierra in favor of working with, well, not in favor of, just basically giving the finger to Sierra and then going off and getting another job. Well, his next job was at Legend Entertainment, and he ended up designing and creating a game based on Callahan's Cross Time Saloon by the author Spider Robinson. Never read it, never played it, but I hear it's very, very good. So I don't know if he was just getting into the works of Spider Robinson when he was designing this game and evidently wrote this look message.
You take possession of the Callahan Muddy.
Because we don't ever find out what the hell a Callahan Muddy actually does. And yeah, I know you want me to pick up some of this other stuff. You can't.
You have no use for that, you silly little janitor.
Jesus. I don't know if he's scolding me or coming on to me. All right. Oh, that's just fine and dandy. Now we could try and have a look through his computer. This is about as far as we'll get. Because it does have a cyber jack, and it does have a power button, and it has a 3.5 inch floppy drive. So I just got confused there for a second. 5 1/4, 3.5 inch. Yeah, there you go. It's been a long time since I've seen a fucking floppy drive. However, we can, of course, go through his accounting. All accounting functions are currently down to blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your patience in this matter. They're down. Not just down, but down. Yes, I read that incorrectly.
These aren't online yet. Apparently budget isn't a big concern here.
Cyberdyne. Holy shit. I can go through the research. Can't really do that either. All research functions are down until further notice due to insufficient funding. Talk to your local congressperson to complain.
Who wants to look at boring old research records? Try something else.
Can fucking do. Communications are down. Prodigy. Well, shit me a biscuit. That's an old reference. Not the shitty biscuit thing, but Prodigy was kind of what we had before the internet. Or
After a click of the screen button, Prodigy begins to painfully, slowly fill the screen. Oh, screw it. Even you don't have the time or patience for this.
Now, this is such an archaic reference. You know what, with today's blisteringly fast internet, I mean, if an image fails to load within the first 2 seconds of us clicking on it, we'll just, shut off the phone in complete disgust. Back then, you would happily spend a minute or two just waiting for it to slowly inch its way down the screen, sometimes from the bottom up. That was weird. I never understood why it would do that. But yeah, so a reference to, this is 1995. This was the same year that I got on the internet for the first time with 56.6 baud dial-up modem. So I was intimately familiar with, you know, the trials and tribulations of early internet. Also around the time that I discovered the virtual broom closet and the always wonderful friendship of Mr. Jess Morissette. Go to Roger Wilco's virtual broom closet today. It still exists. In all its splendor and HTML 1.0 wonders. Oh well, we've actually got what we came for, so let's hop our way back up to the ship. Dr. Bellows has incidentally just disappeared flat out. Yes, I know you want me to go to Lab B. It is locked, trust me. We can't go there. Just...
You press the Lab B button, but the Ascendo pad doesn't move. Apparently you need some sort of clearance to get to Lab B.
B.
So it won't open. I didn't want to go to Lab B anyway.
Of course you do. It's a wonderful place. It's a magical place. You'd love it. Anyway, it won't open until we find the correct game trigger to go there. So... because we apparently discovered nothing except a single body, and the professor was unwilling to assist us in any way, shape, or form, we'll just piss off and do something else. This looks like a wonderful planet, by the way. All desert and just this one retirement community.
I believe I may be able to tap myself into the PTS and perform a limited set of functions.
I didn't ask you.
Yes, sir. PTS, the Photo Triangulation System. It was installed as a crude backup navigational device to the modern navigational computer system.
Does Manuel just know that I have no fucking idea where I want to go or how to get there? He's like the worst backseat driver ever. Okay, let's hit the...
That's delightfully non-helpful.
Sorry, Dad. Probably should hit the button that says PTS. There you go. Photo Triangulation System online. System marginal, 2 photographs remaining. Well, let's just take a fucking photo. There you go. Now, honestly, I don't really know how this puzzle works either, but, you know...
You peel apart the photo and negative from your first PTS image.
I guess what you just do is you take 2 photos and then you shove the different negatives and positives together. Where'd you go? There you are.
Peel apart the photo and negative from the second PTS image.
Oh, he got really excited about that, didn't he? All right, so we take the first negative and add it to
Careful, combining those...
No, we take the first positive and combine it with the negative. We take the... Oh, we're supposed to stick them on the scanner thing. Here you go. There you go. And then you take the second positive, stick that on there, and it just sort of eats it.
PTS is online and working. We can now launch to polysorbate.
Now, we haven't been told up until this point that we're supposed to go back to polysorbate, so at this point, when I was playing the game for the first time, I was just like, why would I want to go there? But fuck it, I guess that's where we're going. Delta Bergson or polysorbate. I'm sure something interesting will happen back here. And we got a nice FMV flyby. This is, by the way, the most freedom you'll have in the game. Going back and forth to 2 different locations. But at least we're in space. Savor this moment, because after I finish this little sequence, things are about to get a lot more disgusting. Alright, we have arrived, I guess, in orbit, probably. How do we... dude, hello. Could you, assist me somehow? I have no idea what I'm doing.
My sole purpose is to help you, sir.
Would be great if you did.
What may I do for you, sir?
Beam me down, Manny!
Step over to the transport pad and I will beam you down to the surface of polysorbate.
I didn't know we had a transporter. Okay, cool, fine. I will step onto... Where is the transport pad? Oh, is that the transport pad? Excellent. I also didn't know that he could do that.
Manual tosses you a transport signaler.
You can only use this from the place I beam you to.
Which would imply that we're about to head into some hazardous territory. We won't. He's certainly a lot better than that junk pile aboard the deep ship. I mean, we actually, materialize in one piece. It's a little clunky, but we got it. The last Stooge fighter. So, okay. Things haven't really changed much around here. Except, I don't know, can we go back to our hotel room? No, we don't actually have our key card anymore.
It probably seemed like a good idea to you at one time.
Yes, it did, but that was a generic message, so I guess we can't really go
They
in there.
look more like cell doors than hotel room doors. It's kind of a Motel 3 meets Rikers look.
I think he means the prison, but could be Commander Riker for all I know. Fine, let's fucking leave then. Guess we'll never see the inside of 1220J. Okay, the real reason we came back to Polysorbate is actually because we need to do something with our friend Fester here. Now Fester, of course, he has the same shaving regiment that I have. He also deals in moddies. Now this is not apparent from anything except for...
The drawers seem to be crammed with Moddy's plug-in modification implants, and the various adapters necessary to make them work universally.
Now you're supposed
Fester
to...
has quite a collection of these,
yes.
which is surprising. The sale of those things was banned years ago.
Ah, I didn't know that. Well, I forgot that is probably a better way of putting that, because I think I've looked at every single object in this game a million times. But it's been a while. In fact, my favorite is the
Now you know what happened to the infamous
R2
R2
droid
line of
in the
droids.
corner.
They've been reduced to carrying out the most trivial of tasks. Fester's using one for a Gen Blood blender. How sad. The R2 line of droids seemed like the hottest thing going in their day. Then they found that one little flaw in the programming. Unfortunately, the princess's personal life will never be quite the same.
Oh, R2, you were so adorable. And then you turned into fucking Harvey Weinstein robot. Alright, the thing is, we're supposed to remember from previous games that Fester likes to barter in things. Obviously, really, because he's kind of a slime bag. But anyway, if we toss the Callahan Moddy at him, let's just let him finish up his dinner. There you
Hello
go.
there, Mr. Blatz. I think I have something you might be interested in.
Think so, hey?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he just got a full-on boner.
Oh, I really think you'll find it interesting.
I don't think you want to use that tone of voice, Roger.
Ooh.
The lip syncing
Well,
was all
I'd
over the
love
place
to
on that
take
one.
that off your hands. Of course, you realize that it's illegal to sell those. But I
Put your
could
pants
trade
back
you
on.
for something. Look around and see what interests you.
I could really use a cyberspace jack.
Oh, thank fucking Christ.
Tell you what, I'll trade you for one of those fine specimens in the case.
Well, it is
What do you
fresh.
say?
Could do a lot
No,
worse.
I want the jack, or it's no deal.
Phrasing,
now
phrasing,
take it
Roger,
easy,
phrasing.
Sonny. I think we
I
can
mean, have
do
you
business.
seen his eyes? Ooh, ooh. And he just pulls his pants back up, and there you go.
I'm glad you see it my way.
I think he saw it a couple
It's
of
been a
different
pleasure.
ways.
Take care, Fester. I gotta fly.
And he suddenly turned into fucking Flash Gordon. Last thing I want to look at is the cerebral fluid thing back here, because that is a delightfully disgusting look message.
Yeah, sometimes when you do a lot of cranial work, you gotta replace the fluid so the old brain isn't just bouncing around in there like a BB. But then you're probably already used to that. Well, I tell you, I kind of hate the idea of opening that up right now. You see, we had a power outage a few weeks back, and my service hasn't gotten over here to clean it out yet. That cranial fluid is some skank spew when it warms up. Woo! Well,
Ew.
come on back by next week, and maybe we'll have some.
Sure. Just backing away slowly now. But anyway, you can only use it here, and we are in absolutely no mortal danger. There's nothing on this planet that will kill you. There are no death sequences to be found on Polysorbate 60 at this point in the game whatsoever. So it's strange that you have to go to the screen to do it, but fuck it. We are nothing if not a stickler for rules. Also, it looks like a French loaf is in the reflection puddle over there, but I think that's the marquee. Cheerio for that task. Now, one thing, before we head on back and do some swifty digging, I got a comment recently on one of the previous videos that I didn't look at the oxygen tank here. And it does have one of the funniest look messages in the shuttle at least, and probably the entire game. So I am glad to oblige. Here it is.
This tank of emergency oxygen serves an incredibly important purpose. It ensures that the shuttle's hatch makes a neat hissing sound when it opens and closes.
And now let's rock and roll. Well, there he is. What say we bother him a bit?
You know, he's a bit ticked at you. I'd leave him alone unless you've got something really important to bug him about.
And how do these things just float on... Oh, that's his uniform. Never mind. I thought he was carrying something and they're like floating on top of each other. Anyway, since he's not looking, let's just use his computer. We do have the cyberspace Jackie thing. So let's... No, we're supposed to turn the thing on, hit cyber functions, and then stick the jack thing in. It's kind of a red herring that the composts have cyberjack implants, cyberjack ports, because you don't actually use them on the compost, you use it on this little thingy. I wonder if there was a section of the game cut where you're supposed to also jack into cyberspace in the holy mother of fuck. Cyberspace is a weird place. This is gonna get very MC Escher in just a tick. I think you can see some of it right here, but yeah. This is basically just one big cock-blocking maze, kind of a maze, kind of not, because all you're supposed to do is just click on the exits right in front of you, and eventually you get to the other side. Ooh, birdseed.
Hey, free birdseed, and so conveniently placed under a huge boulder, too.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Forget it. You don't resemble that bird. Well, except for the pin feathers in those chicken legs of yours.
Oh, fashion critic as well, or body shaming, or whatever. Mr. Owens, you disappoint me. Alright, this is gonna take a while. I might as well fast forward through this. And there we go. We have reached the other side. Now, of course, you're probably wondering what would happen if we should try and take the giant leap, and the giant leap, of course, is...
What? Guess
very
you're about to
cartoony.
find out if there's cyber-gravity.
There is.
Apparently it does exist. As you plummet to your cyber-death, you are confronted by a variant of an age-old question. If you fall and hit the ground within cyberspace, and no one is there to hear it, will you make an audible splat? Yep. Smooth move, X-Lax. Yes, this cyberspace thing can be pretty painful, and I'm not just talking about the rates.
Another reference to old-style internet where you actually had to pay for every time you dialed up. I know local calls are free in the US, but they weren't in Denmark, so every time you had to phone up, the ISP and get online, it was usually very late in the evenings when my dad couldn't hear the modem, and I was just like huddled over the modem going, no one's gonna hear that. I'm costing this family money at this point. I used to get a lot of emails. Thanks to Space Quest, actually. Now, the cyberspace future site of cyberspace, actually, the information superhighway, which was what we were calling the internet back in the day. Has anyone noticed the item that we need? No, not the plank. We can have the plank. The plank is very obvious. Has anyone noticed
the that thing in your pants?
Other item?
Yes, I was wrong. It does fit. There must be plenty of spare room in there.
Jesus Christ. And not only does he say, bet you can't fit that thing in your pants, Roger just picks it up and shoves it in less than a second. So, okay, cool. Apparently you're very enthusiastic about that as well. Has anyone seen the object? The object, it is right on screen. It's this little screwdriver right here. There it is. You would think you're supposed to pick up the rag as well.
That wouldn't prove fulfilling.
And you don't. It doesn't even have... Well, I think it has a look message.
A rag hangs from the sawhorse. Who knows what it last wiped up?
Yeah, there's even a graphic of it as an inventory item in the resource files. So at one point you were supposed to be able to pick it up. I think there's also an animation of Roger picking it up. We'll find out. I'm gonna go through the resource files in the last episode of this installment. But shit, at one point you were supposed to pick it up, and now you don't.
Oh, mama! I'm guessing one too many burritos for the last guy in here.
Yeah, let's just head on inside. See what the information superhighway looked back in 1995. Oh my fucking god. Hello. Well, guess things were a bit slower back then. Haha, window.
It looks like some poor slob actually waited for his number to be called and died for his troubles.
I'll have a candy then.
You virtually eat the nearly real mint. Your virtual breath is now virtually minty fresh.
I really want to get in and check out the files, however...
Just what do you think you're doing, sir?
Well, I didn't think you'd mind if I just looked through your files.
And I thought I'd seen it all. Just step back and wait your turn.
You may
Cheerio.
just have improved your chances of getting to the files with that slick little maneuver. Sometimes you do surprise me, Roger.
I would imagine the opposite would be true. Sorry, could you be a little helpful,
Does your
please?
number match the one shown by the counter?
I don't have a number.
No, I don't seem to have that one, but...
Oh, I am sorry, sir. Strangely enough, there's no provision for buts in this system. You either have the number shown or you do not. Now, please await the calling of your number. Thank you very much. I have important things to do.
I really wonder why all the characters in this
Next.
game really go out of their way to tell you that they have other things to do. Dorf said that when we were shut in the brig. And a bunch of other characters say, okay, you'll have to excuse me, I have things to do, and then they just fuck off. But every fucking... Okay, fuck it. Let's just have a look at the... Well, we do have the incorrect number, because they're now serving number 6, and I think we're going to have to wait a long time here, so let's just make short order of that. Cheerio. Guess what?
Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
As a matter of fact, I do possess that number. Read it and weep, Pixel Woman.
Oh no, you can't possibly. Oh. Well, I guess you're right.
Tough titty, eh,
You
Sissini?
bet your palate, little 32 by 32 pixel mama.
And off into the file room I go. Yep, this is a very, very interesting place to be indeed. So now we do have access to the file room, and we do in fact have to go through it, but there's just one little thing I want to show you before we end the episode. Don't worry, we can get back. No trouble at all. There's a little Easter egg. If you just have a casual look around.
You saw it here first. A preview of the famed information superhighway. Wow.
That's the
Next.
generic look message for the room that you're in, but if you keep doing it, I keep saying like 7 times, but it's probably like 3 or 4 or 5, 6, but anyway.
You saw it here first. Wow. 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 This makes my nipples hard.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you kids do, but do leave me a comment because, as you know, I really, really do love the comments. And, hey, thanks. I'll see you around the Chrono Stream.